If you've been following me for a while, you've already noticed something has changed. I changed the brand name, the website changed, and there's like several other things that I've changed within my brand and within my business. And I want to tell you why, because it wasn't just the business that changed. It was me. It was because I had outgrown the old version of myself. And if you can relate to this, then stay and stick with me for a while, because this video isn't really about me. It's about you. So here's the backstory. For anyone who's new here, and even for my OGs who've been rocking with me for years, about 8 years ago, my life completely fell apart. I mean, it totally exploded. And I don't mean that in a dramatic, exaggerated way. I mean, it literally fell apart. I got divorced. I lost my corporate job in consulting. The fitness business that I had started and poured myself into pretty much wasn't making any money. And then the pandemic hit. It was just one thing after another. I ended up leaving the city I was in and then found myself in a new city. And then I got into lockdown. And I mean, I had to literally rebuild from absolutely zero. It was bad, y'all. And that's when I started this YouTube channel, ironically. And at the time, my whole mission was to reach divorced women who felt like their lives had just been blown up like mine had, and say, hey, you're not alone. Here's how you rebuild with clarity, with confidence, with courage. I'm here with you. Let me give you these tips. And it was really helpful for a lot of women. It was very therapeutic for me. And honestly, showing up for you was part of how I showed up for myself. But here's the thing about rebuilding. When it works, well, your life will change and you will change. I changed significantly and I'm still changing. I got back into a full-time career in technology sales. I started traveling more, expanding my speaking. I grew my coaching business. I moved again. I met incredible people. And then slowly and quietly, the woman I was becoming no longer matched the brand I had created originally. So I had a choice. Stay in that box that was way too small, or blow out the walls and step into what was actually true for me. I chose to blow out the walls. Here's something I say to my coaching clients all the time, and I want you to really hear this. No matter how much money you make, I don't care if it's a couple thousand a month, 6 figures, $1 million a year, a billion a year, whatever it is, there is always one constant in every single scenario. It's the common denominator that's with you all the time. It's you. You are the common denominator. So if you're achieving everything on paper and you're still not happy, the question isn't what's wrong with your job or your relationship or the city that you're in. The question is, who are you being? Not your title, not your role, not what you do for your family or your friends. I'm specifically asking you, who are you being for yourself? And that could mean a lot of things. Outside of your job, are you a runner? Are you a chef on the weekends? Do you speak other languages? Do you surf? Do you ride horses? Do you knit? Do you like to travel in luxury? Do you do adult ballet? What are the parts of you that are still waiting to be lived? Because here's what I've learned over the years. The most magnetic, interesting, amazing, alive women that I've ever met are deeply, unapologetically multifaceted. They're not one-dimensional type of women. They're multi-dimensional type of women. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, Tiffany, I don't have time for hobbies. I have goals. I have a career. Some of you may have children or people depending on you. And I get it. Trust me, I hear you. I was you. I was that woman who was just like focused on the career and making the money, and I had people depending on me. But what I've learned and what I teach inside the Freedom Codes Collective is that sometimes the most strategic thing a high achiever can do is stop trying so hard. I'm not saying stop working or stop dreaming, but stop pushing so hard for every single inch of an outcome. Give yourself permission and the space to have what I like to call side quests. The parts of you that maybe you haven't explored before, or you haven't explored in a few years. Getting into the multifaceted parts of yourself that you've been ignoring because you've been so laser focused on the goal, the achievement. Here's the wild part about those side quests that I'm talking about. They're not distractions. They're actually doors. Let me give you an example. Recently, someone that I know was telling me a story about a young lady that she's associated with. And basically, this young lady was just hanging out with her girlfriends. She went to a bar. They were chatting it up. She said it was a group of guys, and she could kind of tell they're like Wall Street guys and in finances, but there was one that she could tell was kind of like the head honcho in charge. He was a little bit older, and you could tell the young guys were mostly probably finance guys that probably worked for him on his team, because she knew a little bit about finance. And so she said all of a sudden the younger guys started sending drinks over to her and her friends at the bar. And so her friends are like giggling and flirting back with the guys. They're at the table waving at each other. And, eventually the young guys come over and start chatting them up. And the young woman, she gets up from the bar while her friends are talking to the young guys. And she walks over to the older guy who's sitting at the table now by himself. And he's just smiling and, giggling because he's happy that his team is having a good time. She walks straight over to him and she says, "Look, thank you for the drinks. I think that's really cool, but I don't want the drinks. I want to be on your team. I want a job in finance because I know that's what y'all do." And he just kind of was taken aback like, "Oh, okay." But that boldness that she had, that one moment of being fully herself, fully present, having fun with her friends, not caring what other people thought, it got her an interview, it got her an opportunity, and then it got her a career in finance in New York. This is a true story. She wasn't at a networking event. She wasn't performing. She was just out hanging with her friends, having a good time. And she decided to step into her main character energy at exactly the right moment. And she got what she wanted. That's what happens when you're out in the world doing the things that you love. You put yourself in a path of possibility and opportunities. You become the kind of woman that opportunities find. They show up for you. You don't have to chase them. The opportunity that you're working so hard for and you're looking for might not show up at your desk. It might show up at your yoga class or your painting class or on a flight to a fun vacation or at a random happy hour on a Tuesday night at a bar in New York or Chicago or wherever. You might not meet your dream job at the class per se, but you might sit next to a woman who knows a person that can get you your dream job. You might not fall in love training for that 5K race, but you might meet the woman in your running group that you're training with who says, "You are so amazing. I actually know somebody who's single. Let me tell you about him, girl. Let me introduce you." Okay? The likelihood of opportunity finding you goes way, way up when you're fully alive in your own life, because you've branded a life that you enjoy. When you're interesting, when you're present, when you're high energy, when you're having fun, when you're out there being full, layered, multifaceted woman that you actually are. Stop waiting until you hit the goal and start living now. Be willing to grow. Be willing to rebrand if you have to. Real quick, if you are resonating with this, be sure to register for my weekly Clarity Workshop series. I have it every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's all around gaining clarity in the areas of life that may be keeping you stuck. Work, emotions, values, lifestyle, decision-making abilities, and so much more. This workshop is for women who are successful on paper, but they're still not quite satisfied, feeling like they're headed towards burnout, and they want to move forward with joy, making the money, making the impact without the burnout. If you're interested in getting into my universe and joining my community of other high-achieving women on the same path, then start with this Clarity Workshop. The link is in the description. Come on and hang with us. Now, here's where I had to get real with myself. I've been talking about all of this for years in different ways. Living your life on your terms, reclaiming your joy inside and outside of work, connecting and living from your identity and your values and what's important to you. And I recently had to look at myself in the mirror and ask, am I actually still doing this? The honest answer, not as much as I should be, not as much as I used to do it. I've been so head down, building the business, working the tech career, making the money, helping other people with their lives, grinding, grinding, grinding. And I don't regret any of that. The season was necessary. But I hit a point where I thought, if I'm going to continue to teach this in my full joy and full authenticity, then I have to live this. So many of you know, I used to be a fitness fanatic. I was a figure level bodybuilding competitor. I used to be a part of a running group in Atlanta and run races. If you followed me on my Facebook page, you saw all the pictures and all the races and all the competitions. I loved fitness. I also taught fitness. I taught fitness in my own fitness business. I taught it at the YMCA. Like, I was training people. I loved fitness. But of course, when everything crashed and the fitness crashed, I kind of fell back. So recently I got back into running, and y'all, it's not been pretty. Let me be honest with you, but I'm out there again. I'm moving my body. I'm traveling to more places just to have fun. I'm choosing to be present in the richness of my life, not just coaching other people into theirs. The reason I know this is so important is because when you get to the end of your life, you're not going to wish you had sent more emails to your boss or to your customers at work. You're going to want to say, I lived, I showed up, I did the thing, I gave back to community, I surrounded myself with quality, amazing people who are aligned with my values and cheering for me, and I was cheering for them, and I truly enjoyed life. I didn't just talk about a fulfilled life. I lived a fulfilled life. So I say all that to say, that is the rebrand. It's not just a new logo, and it's not just a new name. It's me saying, I have grown. My clients have grown, and the way I help professional, high-achieving women has grown. And everything I put into the world now leads to reflect the real, full version of what I know now to be true. The freedom codes: clarity, confidence, and courage. These aren't just things I teach. They're so much more. They are how I live my life every single day, and how I'm helping my clients to get even more freer and even more joy and make even more money and live more on their terms using these codes. And if you've been watching me for years, if you just found me today, I want you to know, wherever you are in your journey, there is a version of your life waiting for you that is richer, that's freer, that's more abundant, that's more joyful, more than anything you've ever built so far. And if you want to, we can get there together. Now, if you want to learn the steps to get involved in my exclusive community, the Freedom Code Collective, or work with me, definitely be sure to join the Wednesday Clarity Workshop. The link is in the description, and it is truly the gateway to learn what it's like to work with me, to learn more about my programs, and to really get in a community where you look out for other women and they look out for you, and you're all on the same journey together. As always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.